going to tell you a story. It's our favorite story. We've been repeating it for a few days now. This is a story about Esther's dear family, her daughter and her family. So one day they were out in the car, just the three of them, Mom and Dad and Luke. And they had a hankering for bagels. They all agreed, which was unique and wonderful. So they went to the bagel place, and they were out of bagels. The bagel place. So they got back into the car, and there was astonishment that the bagel place could be out of bagels, and an ensuing discussion about how could this actually be so. They should call it the out of bagel place. What's up with this manager? How do you not have a sense of what's going on? Why is the door even open? So many logical questions that continued for quite a while. And then Luke's teenager, Luke, says, "Can't they just be out of bagels? Can't they just be out of bagels? Do I have to talk about this till I graduate from high school?" So this is what we want to address with you, with all of you. When things are not as you want them to be, there is a human-y reaction that makes you want to explain what went wrong, why it went wrong, how it could have gone wrong, whether it's about someone else or yourself. And what you really want to take note of as a result of what we've been talking about here today is every moment you spend in those kinds of conversations, you trend and hold yourself in a place of greater hardship, greater resistance, so that everything feels harder. And as a result of that, humans live much harder lives than you intended or than is necessary. There is no requirement to pay a price. In fact, it is opposite of the way the universe works. The universe says, ask and it is given. Not ask and defend and wrestle it to the ground and prove yourself worthy against all odds and make pacts with whoever it is. It is ask and it is given. Ask and there is a vibrational relationship that is established that you just simply have to let in. And so that's the reason that we're responding to your opening words the way that we are. So just tell us what you want and we'll carve out a path, a door's path. There's a sort of expectation of maybe you don't believe that there's no gain without pain, but there is I'm willing to experience as much pain as is necessary to get what I want, and we say too hard, way too hard, not effortless enough. Most people are reactors. We started out talking about that. Most people are reactors. Rather than acting, most people are reacting. And everyone in this room is more of a reactor than an actor. And that doesn't change until you start really caring about how you feel. And then you start choosing. You're reacting to your relationship with Source, which means you're reacting to what you do want rather than reacting to what you don't want. But it's all good. None of it is for nothing. All of it is of value. All of it is of value. If there were not contrast, how would you choose? Would you want to go to a buffet where there's one thing? It's banana pudding. Esther would like it, but that's all that's there. And the presenter of the banana pudding, the controller of the world, says to you, adapt. You wouldn't like that. You like a buffet. And you don't usually go to the buffet and say, I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't like that, so remove it, please, because I will never choose it, nor do I think anyone else should choose it. You just accept that it's there for people to participate in or not. You get to put on your plate what you like to eat. And after you put it on your plate, you still get to decide. You might not ever choose it again. You might choose it every day. And even after a while, you might choose it for different reasons than the way it feels or tastes in your mouth. Constant adaptation. When something goes wrong, at very deep levels of your being, you know something is really, really off. And there is this incessant need or desire to explain what's off and why it's off. It takes some conforming and some getting what you don't want to really put what you do want in the vortex. Could you know your independence matters to you if you didn't have some little bit of bondage? Could you know that you getting to choose was important if somebody else wasn't trying to make choices for you? And a lot of people say, well, shouldn't I have known that coming in, Abraham? You keep going into physical experience. Shouldn't I have been able to take some of that with me? We say, you wanted this fresh start where this new environment that was new to you. Doesn't matter how recently you were in physical form. You came into a new combination of experiences in order to launch new rockets of desires because you are a creator and you are eternally new. And not one of you resisted the idea of that, not even a little bit. You said, let me add it, let me add it, let me add it, let me add it, let me add it. I will figure it out as I go. I will figure it out. I will know because I have guidance within me. I will know. Will I remember? No, don't need to remember. Don't need to remember all of that stuff that would just clutter up. That's like the conversation in the car about the bagels. It just clutters stuff up. In other words, you can't even find bagels in town when you feel so mad at what happened about these bagels. And there might be better bagels than you've ever eaten right here somewhere close to you, but you are not ever going to be able to find them as long as you're mad about that, you see. If you're not owning where you're at, you're not going to feel any satisfaction when it moves a little bit. There is a sort of natural human trending of cause and effect that this gets this and this gets this. But you got to understand who you're talking with here. We're teaching you about the energy that does the work. And you are the focuser that aligns with the energy that does the work. You are the pointer, not the picker-upper and holler-arounder. And that doesn't mean that there is not satisfaction in picking stuff up and hauling it around. There are a lot of people that do that because they like the feeling of the excellence of their body, and that's part of the expansion that they're reaching for. We tease you sometimes that you complain about the work that you need to do as you haul things, and yet your sports takes you into that sort of thing. So we're not talking about action being right or wrong, but we do want to point you toward understanding that humans have developed an attitude of needing to pay a price for the benefit that they receive. And they have an expectation of the benefit that they receive that is proportionate to the price that they've paid. And that's what's jacked up. So you want to word your question differently, because we're happy to give you whatever you want, but maybe you want to say it softer. Like Abraham, now that I'm here and I see that you've chosen me to sit here, maybe you would like to guide me toward the